by the banks of the great gray, green, greasy Limpopo River, all bordered by fever trees, and the rock-colored python. He wrapped his tail around the rock, and he, through clenched teeth, pulled. And the little elephant pulled, and the rock-colored python pulled and pulled, and he said, "Young man." That's how the elephant got his trunk. And so he went back home, and he spanked all his uncles and aunts with his newly discovered trunk. That's Kipling.
And this is Bill Veeck. He's a legend in baseball. He's also a one-of-a-kind man. He's a dreamer who's not satisfied until his dreams come true in front of a full house. For 50 years, Bill has dreamed up thousands of different schemes, always aimed at delighting the paying customers. He put a midget, Eddie Goodell, up to bat. He put the players in shorts, installed a shower in the bleachers, landed Martians on the field, and built the world's first exploding scoreboard. But Bill has had his ups and downs operating ball clubs. In Cleveland, the world champion 1948 Indians set a league attendance record that still hasn't been broken. But he nearly went broke 5 years later with the St. Louis Browns. The 1959 White Sox won a pennant. But in the 1970s, it was a different ball game. Living out his fantasies in baseball reflects just one facet of Bill Veeck's spirit. He's written 3 books, hosted TV and radio shows for 40 years, and helped raise 9 children. Bill has bounced back from major surgery 33 times. He's a writer, a storyteller, a passionate gardener, a mobile maker and wood craftsman. The longer he lives, the more he opens himself up to people. This program is about a complex man who never quits, a man who knows how to have a good time and provide it for others. Bill Veeck, a man for any season.
You know, I kind of like to talk about bad ball clubs. I like to talk about the St. Louis Browns because I know none of you ever saw them. We played secret games. For a crowd this large in St. Louis, we'd have played a doubleheader. Not well, but enthusiastically. It was a weird operation. I remember one night when I owned the club, I was selling tickets. We had a large and extensive organization. And somebody came up and he wanted to buy 8 seats. Well, I knew he came from out of town. I said, "Where would you like to sit?" He said, "We'd like to sit best seats in the house." I said, "Would you like to sit at second base? We're not using it this year." He says, "What time's the game?" I said, "What time's convenient?" I said, "No, we'll play at your house if you'd like."
What the public sees is totally real. It's just, well, the way I describe it is that there are so many facets to him. So many people don't know the introspective part of Bill. We're both people who need refueling, and I think everybody does. Somehow the more involved you are with people, either in work or in your play, the more you care about people, the more important it is to have these times, the introspective times. It's part of what gives him the energy, the strength to give people so much.
We've lived nicely, Mary Frances and I. We don't live expensively. We live nicely. We do what we want to do. We aren't deprived of things. But on the other hand, we don't have 3 cars. The cars we got are old. We don't have several houses. The one we live is very modest. Our wants are very modest. Maybe because nothing is any better just because it costs more. And I think that's a mistake that we've made in our society, is correlating cost with value and cost with return. And they have no correlation. And I guess you learn that because you see a ball player who gets $1 million who can't play, you know? At $100,000, he would be stealing. And the fact is you pay him $1 million doesn't make him that much better, and it doesn't mean that you've gotten that much greater return. And that's true of Well, how much money can you pay a tulip to bloom? You know? And how much more can you pay a song to hum? So I wonder what relationship money has to being happy, to enjoying your world and your life. I think very little.